Deteriorate. Okay, I know I have been MIA for a few weeks. Well, I think about 2 weeks, maybe about 2.5 weeks since I did my last video. But a few things have changed, and I didn't want to mention anything yet because I still have a few more things to a few more bugs to kind of work out. But I've been trying something new. Something that I've actually been wanting to do for years. I decided to give it a try, and so far so good, even though it's really too early to tell. But anyways, I just want to do this video. I recorded this yesterday, and I was gonna upload it, but then I was running late yesterday, so the video was really rushed. So I wanted to come back and redo it, especially because I woke up this morning and I saw that I had finally hit 500 subscribers. So I am so thankful for that. That was definitely a beautiful surprise to wake up to this morning. That was one of my first milestones that I needed, and then now I just need to get my watch hours up to, I forget the number, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know I need to get my watch hours up before my channel is finally eligible to become monetized. So that was one of the goals. And I know that Spirit, and I'm gonna put timestamps in this one because I know some people click on the video and they kind of click off because I do so much talking and stuff before I even get into the topic. So I'm gonna start doing timestamps for the people who want to get to what the message is, can go ahead and skip forward. But I know one of my things was getting my channel, eventually getting to the point of getting monetized, and that's not really what I wanted originally, but that is something that came up in a personal reading of mine about a year ago, that I'm supposed to be a spiritual teacher. That's what I'm supposed to be. And I actually have been thinking about doing some things behind the scenes, because isn't it so weird that it's the things that we struggle with most are actually the mission that we came here to complete? I struggle with my throat chakra, and I also struggle with wanting to be behind the scenes when I'm supposed to be on the forefront. I struggle with it tremendously, and that's actually part of my mission of what I'm here to do. I'm supposed to be a spiritual teacher, right? And I got that in actually 2 different readings. I got that in a reading by Priestess Amun-Ra, and I also got it in a numerology reading by Chris the Enlightened. So twice, 2 different people, literally almost 2 years apart, ended up telling me the same thing. But anyways, it's all good. I'm gonna get there. I know that part of my channel's slow growth is because of the fact that I'm not living up to the potential I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be on camera, and I know that I was told that once I finally get over that, I forget what they call it, it's imposter syndrome, but it's also something else that kind of I guess I'll call it fear of being seen, but someone explained it a little bit a little bit more intricately. But once I get over that, I know that my channel will blossom beautifully. But right now I have a couple other things that I need to work on first. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I know a lot of people subscribe because they'll watch one video. I had a couple people, a handful of people subscribe because of the video that I did where I was talking about how to delete the YouTube playlist. So I'm pretty sure those people who subscribe don't even know what the actual content of my channel is, but it's fine, because even the number of subscribers I have don't always watch the videos anyways. But the numbers definitely help in terms of eventually getting monetized, which I said originally was not a goal of mine. This was really just to put myself out there for just to kind of get over that hurdle and that hump for a bigger goal that I'm working on. But things change, right? Passive income in this economy is definitely the way that we want to go. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into the dream. Okay, so this one is going to be very, very, very specific. This is one of those messages where you'll know if this is you based off if this is the situation that you are currently in, or this message may be coming early and it may be an opportunity that comes to you later, right? But anyways, this specific message is for a divine feminine that has a teenage child. Now, I don't know if this was middle school teenage, high school teenage. I just know that in this dream, this child was a teenager. This is also a child that is a bit defiant. And when I say defiant, I don't mean your typical hard-headed teenager who doesn't want to listen. I mean, this child is defiant. Not so much so where you'll have to worry about them being, I don't want to call them a delinquent, not so much so where you have to worry about them being an issue with the law, but definitely defiant in the sense that they make decisions and they do things not understanding the long-term implications. And if you don't take care of that now, potentially in the future, that may become an issue, because once you're an adult, your parents can only do so much to save you. Once you become an adult and you're a defiant adult, now you have to pay legal. You have to pay legal fees to get someone to come save you. This person is so used to this child, I'll say, is so used to just doing whatever they want, and then if things don't work out, here comes mommy to the rescue. But we realize as an adult, that's going to have different implications if it's not handled now. But anyways, this is the dream really wasn't even focused on that. I had a dream about a year ago that was focused on that, where this child literally put their parent in a life or death situation, being defiant. And matter of fact, I had another dream where a parent actually had to leave a child behind, and it was sad. But there's definitely this need for divine feminines, whether these are family, friends, and for some of you children, where you have people that are literally putting you in dangerous situations, and you're going to have to leave these people behind because of the fact that they're putting you in these life or death situations. And it just was very sad, because this is definitely a divine feminine who needed to learn to draw those boundaries, and it's just unfortunate that the lesson came with a child, with drawing that boundary with a child. But anyways, in this particular dream, there's like a safe haven. There is a, you know what's so funny? I kept getting safe haven, and I think I got that because of where I am right now. I'm actually doing an Airbnb. I'm trying an Airbnb for the first time, and it is just really nice. It is really freaking nice. And the name that they named the Airbnb was actually Safe Haven. This is a person who has like I want to say they have like a 6-bedroom house. The house is huge, and it's really nice. It's a gorgeous house, and they have 6 bedrooms, and it's owned by 3 people, or there are 3 hosts. I guess I shouldn't say owned because I don't really know all the details, but there are 3 hosts, and they live in the other rooms, and then the extra 3 rooms they rent out on Airbnb. So the room that I'm in is actually called Safe Haven, right? Which I just thought was beautiful. But anyways, you do have a safe haven, divine feminine, which is your parents. So this is a divine feminine who you have moved, you have relocated. This is a divine feminine who you were a single mother, right? I don't know for how long, for what period of time, it doesn't matter, because you definitely had strong support system from your family, particularly your mother and father. Or this may have been a stepmother and a father, or a mother and a stepfather, but there was something about you having strong like family help, like, you know, you have a strong familial community, right? But you moved. This is something where like this divine feminine moved, and now that this divine feminine moved, she's doing everything on her own. Now this divine feminine moved for a new opportunity, for a better job, a new opportunity. So this divine feminine moved in order to do something which was going to improve her life and help her to go after her goals. The only problem is, I wouldn't say problem, the only hiccup I'll say is now that you moved, you don't have that support that you once had from your family, right? And now your child, it's almost like because it went from like your child just being a normal hard-headed teenager to your child becoming defiant, and part of that defiance might actually be that they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave the school that they were at. They loved being close to their grandparents. Something about your mother in particular spoiling this child, so your child didn't want to leave that environment. So this child acting up may actually have something to do with you taking them and leaving. So like, but here's the thing, your parents are not doing well either. And the weird thing about it is the mother, the father, I don't know if it was a stepfather or a biological father, the father in this dream was retired, but the mother was still working. But it was something about like both of them, like these being older individuals, but there was something about both of them once you left, and now it's like empty nest syndrome, but it's like their health and it's like their mind is deteriorating rapidly. Like, I don't know if like, I don't even want to say the word, because sometimes I feel like even speaking on things gives life to it. The word starts with a D, but I don't want to say it, but think about a condition that starts with the letter D that is about the mind declining, right? But like I said, there are certain conditions I don't even speak of because I don't want to give any sort of life to it. But I don't know if that particular condition runs in the family, but there's something about like, now that your parents are in empty nest syndrome because all of the kids are out the house, it's like they are deteriorating quickly. Like this mother and this father, in the dream, like they forgot how to work the alarm clock. They no longer, I don't even know if maybe they didn't know to begin with, because it was like a digital alarm clock. I don't know if maybe your child was doing it for them and like you just never knew, but like they didn't know how to work things. They were struggling with things. They were like oversleeping, something about like they were too tired to even get up. The mother was oversleeping to the point where she wasn't even going to work anymore, or she was like missing work or constantly late to work because she kept oversleeping. It's like her body was like tired, and it's kind of weird because it's like, if the mother is still working, then she should be still, I don't know why I'm getting like Up and Adam Ant. That's an old show, so I'm pretty sure like the younger generation won't remember that, but like I'm literally hearing like Up and Adam Ant, right? Like the mom should be good to go because she still gets up and goes to work and she's still competent at her job. But there's something about like your child kept them, I don't know if your child is really active and they're like, oh, I want to do this, I don't know, but there was something about your child being there. Maybe it's just like the child energy, maybe it's just the energy of the child, but y'all know children have strong energy. Like I've even had dreams where like the portals that we talk about that are like different portals throughout the United States and throughout the world, they are powered by children. They are powered by the energy of children. Y'all know like the movie Monsters Inc. and Monsters University, where they're like, oh, a children's scream can open up the portal or open up the doors, but they learned that actually children's laughter was so much more powerful. Like I'm telling y'all, these movies hide these things, but like it's real. It's all real. Children's energy is a strong it's strong, right? It's strong. Children's energy literally can like change the atmosphere, right? That's why you'll literally have like they'll have that. They're not very many, but they'll have like nursing homes where they'll have daycares, like employee daycares in the nursing home, and it helps the staff so that the staff has daycare while they're at work. But also it's like an interaction thing because having children around the elderly helps keep them young and it helps with their function, right? So it's like a thing. Children's energy is a thing. There's something about you or your child, excuse me, when you took your child away, your parents' energy literally it depleted. It's almost like your child was keeping them going. So And you'll know if this is for you. You know, you'll know because there are a lot of we live in a different generation where some of these grandmothers, they don't want their grandkids. They want to go out. Grandma needs life too, kind of thing, which is fine because grandma, you raised your children. You did what you had to do. You definitely should not have to. You should not have to raise your grandchildren because you've already done what you needed to do. But this is an old school set of grandparents, whether they're older or younger or not. This is definitely, well, they are older, but this is definitely an old school set of grandparents where they're no, we want our grandchildren around, we want them around. But you do have a kind of a fix-all, right? And this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard for you, Divine Feminine, especially if you've been there since day one, not if, because you have been there since day one. It's going to be hard for you to even fathom giving your child away. But there's something about if you allow your child to go live with your parents, and if you just visit and then just, pay them and give them whatever money that they need, even though the house in this dream, these parents don't need money. I don't want to say this to be rude or anything, but it's almost like this opportunity, Divine Feminine, you need it more than your parents do. This is definitely a generation of a parents who have a home, who own their home, whose home is nice. Meanwhile, we're in the generation where people are drowning in college debt and student loan debt, and people are homes in college are costs outweigh the cost, are more than what you're even. It's almost the cost of college and the cost of buying a home is now 2, 3, 4, 5 home, 9, 10 times what your actual salary is. You know what I mean? Your salary after you graduate will be $45,000. Meanwhile, it costs you $80,000 to go to school, because campus and boarding and room and all that stuff. It's $10 grand a freaking semester. And then meanwhile, you come out making $45,000. Meanwhile, the average home is costing $300,000 to $400,000. So it's the American dream is it's no longer really obtainable like it was back in our parents' age, back in our grandparents' age, right? But those times were different. Definitely in our grandparents' age, times were way different. That might even be going back a little bit too far. But anyways, there's this thing where your parents financially are actually doing better than you are. So this opportunity is great for you, but it's not great for your daughter, and it's not great for your parents. So your kind of save all would be to let your child go back and live with your parents, especially if this child is high school age where they only have 2 or 3 years, maybe even 1 year left. It's going to benefit your child and your parents tremendously more for your child to go back and live with your parents. I'm telling you, it's going to add years. It's going to up the outcome of your child when it comes to their life post high school graduation, and it's going to add years onto your parents' health and their life by you letting your child go back, and then you just being the one to have to rip and run to go visit them. That's kind of just the message that came through. So, like I said, take it or leave it, definitely. But it was a very, very interesting dream. Very interesting dream. And like I said, the specifics of these dreams are so, or the details of these dreams, I should say, are so specific. You will know if this dream was for you or not, right? But anyways, let me go ahead and go. I left early this morning so that I could record this without it being rushed, but also I left early because I wanted to stop at the store. I'm cutting out coffee. I drank coffee yesterday morning before I went in, and I felt like I was going to have an anxiety attack. I've been trying, it's my own fault because I've been trying to cut coffee out, and then I went and got a large iced macchiato, which has espresso in it, and I got a large at that. I don't know why I thought I needed a huge, and then it wasn't even Starbucks where their large is only 20, 24 ounces. It was freaking Dunkin' Donuts where their large is a 32 ounce. Nobody needs 32 ounces of coffee. But when I tell y'all I have a coffee addiction, and I've been trying to wean myself off of it. So weaning yourself off of coffee and then randomly going to get a 32 ounce iced caramel macchiato from Dunkin' Donuts, which is not only an espresso, but it's jam-packed with sugar all day. It took hours. Literally, I got it before why is there a red balloon outside? That is so strange, and it's so random, and I don't know if I should leave and go somewhere else. That is so random. Red? Why a red balloon? Because now I'm thinking I think I'm going to go park on the other side before I get out, because that just completely threw my mind out. Because first I saw it and I was like, ooh, pop the balloon or find love. And then out of nowhere, I started thinking it. So, yeah, I'm going to go park on the other side. But anyways, yeah, going to get that large iced coffee was not a good move after having weaned myself off of coffee for so many weeks, because I literally spent all day yesterday feeling like I was going to have an anxiety attack all day while I was at work. When I got off that evening, when I went to sleep, I didn't even feel better until I woke up this morning. That's how long the effects lasted. So I definitely will not be doing that again. I'm going to have to switch to tea. I'm going to have to. But this morning, I'm going to go and get some water and some juice because I want something with a little bit of flavor to it. And I'm just going to start doing that in the meantime. But anyways, y'all, as always, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. And thank you to all my new subscribers and all of my previous subscribers who have been rocking with me since the very beginning. I thank you all for being with me on this journey, on this transition, while you're going through your growth and also while I'm going through mine. Even the people, I say, who do this content, they're not all the way there. No one is all the way there. Once you reach a certain level, then there's another level to go after that. The growth, the expansion, the ascension, it does not stop. It doesn't stop, right? So I just want to thank everyone who has been here with me on my journey. And as always, I hope the videos help, because that's the whole point of doing this, is to help people go through theirs as well. So as always, y'all, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. Bye.